The first time I got spun, I was really mad on the radio, and by the time this was done, it kind of felt like this was just the kind of day I was going to have.
Welcome to NASCAR Inside the Race. We are in Letarte's lab today, joined by the driver of the 88, Connor Zilisch. First of all, A-plus drive. Car number, A-plus. Big fan. Big fan of the 88. Thanks for coming in. How you like it? You like the lab so far?
So far, so good. I feel like you know what you're doing from what I've seen so far. So
well,
we're about to find out.
I got a whole show to mess that up. But let's talk about your day. First of all, up and down day, up and down weekend. You were fast at COTA. Didn't really get the results. I know you won it on Saturday. I thought you had a chance on Sunday. Let's take a peek in. Remind the viewer at home what we're really looking at. Left side is position. The goal is to be at the top of the graph, right? You want to be up. The race itself is from left to right. Well, take me through your day. I mean, it starts in 25th, drives up into the 15th for the first pit stop. Everything seems so far so good.
Yeah, it was stage one was decent. I was struggling a little bit with the car. We struggled most of practice and qualifying. We made some changes, and then as the race went on, we made it better and better. But stage one, we weren't great, so I was still able to move forward. We were one of the fastest cars on the track, but not quite as rapid of an incline as later in the race.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Watching from home, you didn't really come on my radar much. I knew it was going to be pretty good. Unfortunately, I saw this spot, right? So right here, we have a little bit of an issue. Let's talk about it. So this is the first one. You're up inside the top 10. You are at the bottom of the screen there. Famed kind of Red Bull scheme. You get, I'll say it, run over, hit from behind from the 7, which is road course racing. But take me into this incident. What do you feel? What are you seeing? How does it occur?
Yeah, I always fight for leverage in turn one at COTA. I think being lower is better. All the wrecks usually wash up to the top, so usually the lower you can be, the better. But in this instance, the 7 was probably trying to go to the inside of me and just missed his mark and hit me off center and spun me out and completely flat spotted all 4 tires and tough way to start stage 2 after making it up into the top 10 and right back to the back.
This is the onboard of the guy that gets you.
Yeah, that'll cost you.
Tell the fan, you're already so committed to the braking zone,
yeah.
It doesn't take a whole lot.
That's the thing. You're already at 100% of what the tire is capable of doing, right? When one person hits you and adds 10% of speed, then that puts you over the limit of what the tire can hold. And, he basically put his energy into me and made me the one go flying. So maybe I needed someone in front of me to hit so that way it wasn't me spinning, but in this case it was me.
So I've highlighted it. You mentioned you get spun, you had some flat spotted tires, you're not moving forward. Right here, I think, is when it really came to life. We dropped the green in the final stage, and you not just gained positions on the racetrack, but you're able to do it with not really losing any time to the leader. So we kind of put this together. We got a lap count. We have the position you're running, and the behind is very interesting. It's only 2.8 now because we're right after the restart. Very quickly, it'll get back to about 9 seconds, but then you stay there the entire run, driving all the way to 5th. First of all, is this like frustration because you have a good car in your back, or is it fun to be passing all these cars?
It's a little bit of both. I always feel like I drive the best when I'm coming from the back. I don't know why, but I think the anger definitely feeds into a little bit of it. There was a couple guys coming through the field that I maybe wasn't the nicest to because I had passed them 4 times before already, and they weren't letting me by the 4th time that I had to pass them. But most of the guys I was getting by were getting out of the way and making it pretty easy on me, but the frustration was certainly kicking in.
Tom, one spot more than the other around COTA? Where are you the most successful?
Yeah.
Continue to see this.
I think you can see it there.
Must be your signature corner.
Yeah, we were really good in the high-speed corners. I felt like all day long I was really good in the triple right, 16, 17, 18, and then the S's I was the best car on the track all day long, and that just really opened the door to make these passes like this and into 6A. And even if you can't get clear there, you get alongside of them here, and you're pretty much taking the spot into 6B. So that spot was my go-to all day long. People don't always expect it, and I feel like it's, as soon as you get any leverage there, the guy on the outside has to give it to you.
Just concede.
There's a wall right there. So if you try and drive it in there, it ain't going to end well for you.
Well, so I've highlighted because it was 9 seconds, right? So once the field got strung out, you were 9 seconds behind, and about 17th, you got all the way to 5th, still only 9 seconds behind. But unfortunately, that's what put you on the radar. But then we have this issue right here. So then we have the final restart. You're outside row 2. Inside kind of bit you earlier in the race. Now you're outside. What are your thoughts picking the outside?
Yeah, I mean, the inside got me early in the race, but when you're second row, you have to take the clean, or when you're second row, fourth place, you got to take the closest to the front you can get. But unfortunately, COTA, that kind of stuff happens. We go 4, 5, 6 wide, and
this is you
somebody's
out here.
Somebody's going to take the brunt of it.
Yeah, you can see it in this position. It's like the dominoes are starting to line up in your direction, and eventually they get you.
Yeah.
I actually felt bad for Zane Smith as well, who's the guy that ran into you, because he was running pretty well. Unfortunately, we're going to take you to the in-car as well. Like, what's your mindset here? All this work kind of evaporating?
Yeah, the first time I got spun, I was really mad on the radio, and by the time this was done, it kind of felt like this was just the kind of day I was going to have. So I knew that we had to make something out of the day. We're already in a deep hole in points from the first 2 races of the year, so I think at that point you just get back going and try and do the most you can to keep the points moving in the right direction.
Like you're 6 lanes out there.
I know.
You were trying to get out of the way. You were as high and as wide as you dare go. Did you have any idea it was coming? Like, could you see it out your side window, or just
No, I had no idea. I mean, I looked right before, I kind of turned into the corner and everything seemed okay behind me, and then I turned into the corner and it was boom immediately. And I thought I was going to have a toe link or something. It was a big hit, but yeah, I mean, COTA, that stuff, you see it every time we come here. Turn 1 is so wide, and drivers feel like, and I've been guilty of it before, you feel like you can just keep going inside until, there's no more room.
So you haven't, surprisingly, you mentioned a toe link, no damage. You get this thing refired, and then here you go, right? You drive it all the way back up into the top 15. How much are people fighting you because it's near the end of the race, or have you been so fast? I see you found your way to the 7 again.
He didn't like me.
All right, that's all right.
And then he hits me here.
Okay, I was wondering if that was a second shot, but then you clear him. So that answers my question. Like, how many guys fight you? Like, at this point, you have a whole day of passing cars. Are they sick of seeing you come by?
Yes and no. Some guys were easier.
Yeah.
I definitely told some people they were number 1.
I like this.
Yeah, I was definitely a little frustrated, but most guys were pretty. I mean, here, John Hunter sees me and lets me go. Most guys were pretty okay. I actually had a really good race with Joey on the last lap of the race.
I was going to say, so how much was it? One position, but you're like, I think I can get him on the last lap.
Yeah, so he drives it in deep there. I cross him over, and then he tries to slow down here to set up a crossover, and I just never got on the throttle. I parked it here, and then he hit me. So classic old school move there. To finish P14 after passing the entire field what felt like 3 times.
So does this, I know it's frustrating, but does it excite you? You have 3 more road courses. I mean, you're great at the ovals as well. But you have Watkins Glen coming, San Diego, Sonoma. There had to be some good that you can take away from that day.
Yeah, there's definitely some confidence to take away from it. I didn't qualify great. We weren't great in practice. I was honestly a little worried about what the race was going to be like, so it was definitely good to at least have some speed and be able to move through the field and do the things I wanted to when it came to the race. So yeah, we'll go to Watkins Glen, San Diego, and Sonoma. I can't wait for San Diego. That race is going to be awesome, and see what we can do there. All
right, if you're looking for a guy to cheer for, there's your guy, driving the 88, Connor Zilisch. It's going to be an exciting year for him in the Cup Series.